all of you are doing good. Today, I am in my favorite reading place in my house, and I have two of my favorite reading friends. I have Mrs. Unicorn and Mr. Elephant. And today, we're going to read you a story. And the story is called The Magician's Hat, and it's by Malcom Mitchell. All right, let's get started. Family Fun Day at the library was filled with exciting events. Book scavenger hunts, storytelling, reading rallies. Today, for the first time, a magician arrived with a bag of tricks and a big hat. Everyone gathered around to see the magician perform. He does have a pretty big hat on. He bent a spoon just by looking at it. He made playing cards float in front of his nose. The magician could even make a coin appear from a puppy's ear. When he waved his wand, a banana vanished. That was just the warm-up act. Now, the magician was ready to dazzle the crowd with his favorite trick of all. The magician's magic started with a story. What do you think that the magician's story is going to be about? All right, I'll give you 3 seconds to think about it. All right, now let's find out what it's about. When I was a kid, my mom and dad brought me to this library on Family Fun Day. During the book scavenger hunt, I wandered into a reading room. There were hundreds of books. Books about dogs, books about planes, books about the sun, flowers, rain, cities, and circus dancers. Out of the hundreds of books, one special book jumped out at me. It was a book about magic. I read and read and read every single word on every single page. I discovered that book wasn't just about magic. I learned that books are magic. Even though I was still in the library, those pages and words took me places I had always dreamed of going. This is how I knew that I wanted to become a magician when I grew up. Soon after that, I got my magician's hat. The Family Fun Day crowd had grown. Kids from all over town were eager to see more of the magician's magic. He asked them, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Amy shouted, "I want to be a dentist." The magician invited Amy to reach inside his hat. Amy dug deep, then deeper, until she felt something. Okay, so based on what we have learned about the magician when he told his story, what do you think Amy is going to find in the magician's hat? All right, 3 minutes of thinking time. 3 seconds, not 3 minutes, my goodness. Okay, 3 seconds. It's a book, Amy shouted. And the magician asked, "What is your book about?" What do we think that Amy's book is about? My book's about teeth, cleaning teeth and fixing teeth and x-rays. So we learned that Amy found a book in the magician's hat and that her book was about cleaning teeth and fixing teeth. And that was because she wanted to be a dentist, right? So what are we learning? That what you find in the magician hat has to do with what? What you want to be when you grow up, maybe? Right away, like magic, Amy saw herself holding dental tools, a toothbrush, and a rinsing cup. But in the library where everyone could see, Amy was hugging her book and smiling. Matt had been watching closely. After seeing Amy's magic, he wondered, "What else is in that hat?" He called out, "I want to be a famous football player." So what do we think Matt is going to find, and what is it going to be about? Let's find out. And so, the magician offered Matt his hat. "Let's see what magic you can find inside." Matt reached in. Way down, there was something that couldn't fit into just one hand. Matt plunged both hands into the hat and pulled. It's a book about football, and it even has my name on it. All at once, like magic, Matt was on the field, running, tackling, catching, punting, sometimes fumbling, and sometimes falling, but lots of times winning. Ryan called out from the back of the crowd, "Wait a second, that's not magic." Amy and Matt's parents must have told the magician what they wanted to be when they grew up. The magician asked Ryan, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" This was Ryan's chance to prove that the magician was fake. He snickered and said, "A dog." The magician asked Ryan to reach into his magical hat. Ryan said, "I can't feel anything." Sometimes you must really reach and stretch for what you want to be. That's a part of magic. Ryan reached deeper and deeper until his fingers grabbed onto something. He clutched a beautiful book that had nothing to do with dogs. Its pages were filled with letters and paintings and photos and foldouts, stars, planets, rocket ships. So what do you think that Ryan wants to be when he grows up based on what he pulled out of the magician's hat? Ryan had always dreamed of becoming an astronaut and exploring the wide open sky, hurtling into outer space and zooming to a far-off galaxy. "Whoa," whispered Ryan. "How did you do that?" "I am not doing anything," the magician said. "You are." "I am?" asked Ryan. "But there's got to be a secret trick in those books." "The desires that are within you bring out the magic in the books. Follow your dreams, and they will take you wherever you want to go." Having trouble flipping the page. The magician turned his hat so everyone could see inside. "What are your dreams?" The question made all kinds of magic appear. So, if you were to put a book, or if you were to pull a book out of the magician's hat, like the other children did in this book, what would your book be about? If you were to follow your dreams and reach deep into the magician's hat, what would you pull out? So, I went and reached deep into the magician's hat and thought about it, and what I pulled out was the moon and the stars. Because my dream is to go to the moon and the stars. I really like them, and sometimes I'll sit outside at night and just look at the moon and the stars. They are my favorite thing. So, we're going to do an art project to go along with our book called The Magician's Hat. And what you're going to need to do this art project is scissors. It's okay if you don't have any, but the way I did it was I used scissors, colored pencils, and 2 sheets of paper. It's okay if you don't have 2 sheets of paper and you only have 1, and if you don't have scissors, that's okay. And if you don't have colored pencils, that's okay. You can use markers or crayons or pencil, whatever you want. But this is the way I did it. So, like I said, I thought about what I would pull out of the magician's hat. And like I showed you first, it would be the moon and the stars, because I really like them. And my dream would be to go to the moon and the stars. That'd be so cool. And so, what I did is I drew the moon and I drew the stars, and then I drew what it would look like maybe up there where the moon and the stars are. You can see on one of my sheets of paper, and I used pencil at first, and then I used colored pencils to color it. And then on the second sheet of paper, I drew myself what it would look like, or what I would look like if I were to go up there. Of course, I'd have to wear a little suit because I would have to be able to breathe oxygen, and there's none there. You see? That's me, and I'd be super excited because that is my dream. So after I drew that with pencil on one of the blank sheets of paper, and I colored it with my colored pencils, I cut it out with my scissors. So then I could show myself where the moon and the stars are. You see? There I am, jumping, yay! I was so excited, or I would be so excited. Okay? And like I said, if you don't have scissors, that's okay. You can just draw yourself right onto the picture. Or if you don't have colored pencils, that's okay. You can use crayon, you can use markers, or you could just use a regular pencil. And even if you don't have paper like this, you could use colored construction paper. You could use all kinds of things. You could even do it on a Post-it note if you wanted to, and then you could stick it up on the refrigerator. Okay? So I would love, love, love to see what you draw. So maybe you can show me. Okay? I will see y'all later, and I hope you enjoyed the book.